hide your grandma, hide your auntie, hide your mama, because Oprah is coming for them. And she is trying to give them some free religion, some free goodies, and some blasphemy. Delicious. It's just a part of that sick chain of not caring about the elderly or our children or, where you've come from. Let's just say the devil's been dogging her stroll since the day she was born. Also, please don't forget, this is for educational or entertainment purposes only. That's all. Anything in this video is just alleged. It is public information that I found online that I just wanted to share with you, my subs, my friends, me and more. Apparently, I've just been going too easy on everybody. I've just been sugarcoating so much that I think that sometimes the message becomes obscure. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go straight to what we're talking about. And this one is going to be a doozy. So today is quite an important video. So I hope that you guys will like and subscribe. And I hope that you enjoy. And I hope that, you've seen some of this stuff already. And I know that many of you likely have because you're so awake and aware. And that's good. So today we are looking at someone who is known worldwide. Someone that most people could name if they saw a picture or could picture in their head who they were if they heard their name. This person has reached such a status that the poors like us can only dream about, even though most of us will still pass on that dream because we know that it comes at a cost. Was it truly hard work and determination that caused Oprah to be where she is today? Or is it something much more sinister? LOL. Today, I would really like to look into Oprah. She's been popping back up lately for many of reasons. It seems as though she may have even scored an interview with recently freed Britney Spears. Congrats to Britney, because I can only imagine how hard that must have been on her. We all want Britney to be happy and to be able to live her life freely. But giving this interview to Oprah, for some reason, seems quite wrong to me. So, no more sugarcoating. Let's get right into it. It's gonna, like I said, it's a doozy, so prepare yourselves. What's up, turds, nerds, freaks, and geeks, and all that's in between? It's me, your girl, Daisy Dame, and welcome back welcome to my channel. I'm genuinely blessed to have you here. Oprah's never been somebody that I really liked. I never had a very good feeling about, and so forth. I truly believe that this person oozes evil. And today, like we tend to do, we're taking a deep dive into Hollywood's highest of high priestess. Many will recognize Oprah due to her charitable acts, which became more dramatic as episodes continued to air. She was essentially Mr. Beast before Mr. Beast was ever Mr. Beasting. Many of you may know Oprah from that, you get a car, things like that. The craziest part of that whole thing is that the crowd oftentimes never even got to receive the car. And most of the crowd couldn't make payments on the car, let alone keep one. I'm going to break this woman's career down from start to finish. How she got to where she is and what it took her to get her there. In modern times, Oprah is seen as someone who's very important, a very famous figure, the definition of idol for some. Oprah essentially has long been scoring those major interviews that were turning points in pop culture, interviews that were meant to really be significant or make a difference. But then Oprah was also the one who never really had any hard-hitting questions, sat there with her compassionate mm-hms, and went on to boast many questionable people. From her countless shady ties to the theories whispered only on obscure corners of the web, there is only a few who dare to speak the truth of whom she truly is. Oprah is not your friend, nor is she a good person, nor should she be anyone's influence. To get to the level of fame that Oprah is at, it is a place so high that you are on the top of that 1%, like the tippy top of that 1%. There must have been a lot of sacrifice along the way. She may seem to do a lot, but she may also seem to be someone who's giving. But is she truly? Who is Oprah really? We're going to find that out together. So we're going to be starting from the beginning, as one should. Oprah was said to have a difficult childhood, meaning she understood what it was like to struggle. And that's important. We're going to get back to that. So, Oprah Gail Winfrey was born to Vernita Lee and Vernon Winfrey on an isolated farm in Mississippi. On January 29th, 1954, her name was supposed to be Oprah from the Bible, but because of the difficulty of spelling and pronunciation, she was known as Oprah almost from birth. Winfrey's parents were unmarried, and they separated soon after she was born and left her in the care of her maternal grandmother on a farm. As a child, Winfrey entertained herself by placating in front of an audience, which was actually farm animals, under the strict guidance of her grandmother. She learned to read at only 2.5 years old. She addressed the church congregation about when Jesus rose on Easter Day, when she was only 2 years old. For those of you who don't have kids, that's pretty darn impressive, to say the least. So, Winfrey then skipped kindergarten after writing a note to the teacher on the first day of school saying she belonged in first grade. She was actually promoted to third grade after 1 year. At 6 years old, Winfrey was sent north to join her mother and 2 half-brothers in a Milwaukee ghetto, an extremely poor and dangerous neighborhood. At 12 years old, she was sent to live with her father in Nashville, Tennessee. Feeling secure and happy for a brief period, she began making speeches at social gatherings. We can see that from a very young age, Oprah is already very smart, already business-minded, already doing these talks that they knew so much that they had wanted to do. They even were doing these speeches at social gatherings and churches, and one time earned $500 for a speech. And for a child, that's a whole lot, especially at that time, too. She knew at that time that she wanted to be paid to talk. Isn't that so funny? Likely, the one positive I can say about Oprah is that she understood the assignment. She has been hustling since day one. She's been working on that money from the jump. That's just the truth. What we see a lot of in Winfrey's youth is being passed back and forth between family members and staying with them for periods of time. Winfrey again was called back by her mother, and she had to leave the safety of her father's home. The poor urban lifestyle had its negative effects on Winfrey, so we're told, as a younger teenager. The problems were compounded by repeated SA, and I can't say it, you guys know what I mean. Starting at the age of 9, by men that others in the family had trusted. Her mother worked odd jobs and did not have much time for supervision, which was a recipe essentially for disaster. It would end up being years of this bad behavior before Winfrey got sent back to her father in Nashville. Here's the wild part, right? I feel bad for her at this point. I feel bad for the child version of herself that had no say. She went through pain and suffering at the hands of people who she thought she could trust. She lived in a place of poverty. So we have it confirmed. 1, she knows what it's like to struggle, and the struggle is real. 2, she has been deceived by people in high places of importance that took advantage of her. So now that we've essentially gone over and confirmed these things, don't you think that Oprah would understand what it's like, and she would not want to put others in such a vulnerable place? A place that she herself has been? The saddest part about this is that oftentimes those who go through certain things at a vulnerable age then become that person as they grow up, the bad person that hurt them so much. They then become just like that person. They then commit the same horrible acts that were committed towards them. The worst part is that that's a fact. These people often grow up to be bad people themselves. Why would Oprah want to make anyone feel this way? That way that she had felt so long ago. Why would she ever want anyone to endure suffering? And how is it that her social image still is the good girl moniker? How does she still have that? How? Somebody after this video tell me, like Tom Hanks, how do they still have this good guy persona? It's beyond me. Luckily, as the story goes, Winfrey's dad helped her make a change. He helped her become a better student and an overall better person in general. She went on to do so much when it came to school and extracurricular activities. Winfrey became an excellent student, participating in things like drama club, debate club, student council, and the Elks speaking contest. And let me just tell you right now, I can relate to this. I myself was in drama club. I myself was class president. So I understand the love for the extracurriculars. I really do. She won a full scholarship to Tennessee State University. The following year, she was invited to the White House Conference on Youth. There was essentially no award that Winfrey wouldn't take home. Winfrey was crowned Miss Fire Prevention, even, by WVOL, a local Nashville radio station, which was hired by the station to read afternoon newscasts. So I know that some of this may seem as though it doesn't matter, but I promise you it does. It's actually the most important part. It's exactly how this person came to be who they are. So it's very important that we see where they came from and why they are where they are now. So after Winfrey graduated, WJZ-TV in Baltimore, Maryland, scheduled her to do a local news updates called cut-ins during Good Morning America. And soon she was moved to the morning talk show Baltimore is Talking with co-host Richard Shear. After 7 years on the show, the general manager of WLS-TV, American Broadcasting Company, ABC, Chicago affiliate, saw Winfrey in an audition tape sent in by her producer, Deborah DeMario. At this time, her ratings in Baltimore were better than Phil Donahue's, a national talk host. She and DeMaio were effectively hired. This really seemed like that start for Oprah. This really seemed like exactly what they wanted. Winfrey moved to Chicago, Illinois in January 1984 and took over as an anchor on AM Chicago, a morning talk show that was consistently last in its ratings. She changed the emphasis of the show from traditional women's issues to current and controversial, debatable topics. And only after a month, the show was then even with Donahue's program. 3 months later, it had inched ahead of Donahue. In September 1985, the program, renamed The Oprah Winfrey Show, was expanded to an hour. As a result, Donahue moved to New York City. In 1985, Quincy Jones saw Winfrey on TV and thought she would make a fine actress in a movie he was co-producing. The movie happened to be with Steven Spielberg. The film was based on Alice Walker, a novel, The Color Purple. Her only acting experience until then was in a one-woman show, The History of Black Women Through Drama and Song, which she performed during African American Theater Festival in 1978. But Oprah's thirst essentially could not be quenched. Winfrey formed her own production company, Harpo Inc., in August 1986 to produce the topics that she wanted to see produced, including television drama miniseries based on Gloria Naylor's The Women of Brewster Place, in which Winfrey was featured along with Cecil Tyson, Robin Givens, Olivia Cole, Jackie, Paula Kelly, and many others. The miniseries aired in March 1989. A regular series called Brewster Place, also starring Winfrey, debuted on ABC in May 1990. Winfrey also owned the screen rights to Fair Boy, Mark Mathabane's autobiography. The book about growing up under certain beliefs in South Africa, as well as to do with Toni Morrison's novel, Beloved. In September 1996, Winfrey started an on-air club. On September 17th, Winfrey stood up and announced she wanted to get the country into reading. She told her adoring fans to hasten the stores to buy books that she had chosen. They would discuss it together on air the following month. Thank you guys for sticking with me, because this is where it all gets juicy. If you thought that learning about the beginning and the past was important, just wait.